Today, I will be talking about organisational metaphors, including instruments of domination, which is nowhere near as kinky as it sounds. Sorry. Hi team, and welcome back to the Influential PMO Channel. I'm Stuart Taylor, and it's my pleasure to be here with you, helping people new to the project world with knowledge, tips and tricks, and also supporting experienced project professionals in any way that I can, whether it's as someone to bounce ideas off, or just give a view on a particular challenge, or just offer sympathy when it's needed. Check out the description below for my social media links and contact details. And if you're in need of some help and I'm in a position to help, then I will. So please don't hesitate to make contact. Consider me to be a friendly peer with an interest in helping this amazing community, which has, I should add, done plenty to help me over the years. So consider this my way of passing along the many good deeds that I've received. And whilst you're checking out the description, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get all of this content without having to go hunting for it. Today is the start of the In Theory series on the Influential PMO channel. Unlike the more practical elements of the other series on the channel, the intention of this series is for me to teach you some of the key concepts from the great thinkers in the fields of project and change management. It's a type of knowledge that will broaden your understanding of our profession and its impacts. So, don't worry. I'll be the one mooching around for dusty books and journals so you don't have to, and you just get the knowledge. You're welcome. Today's video looks at some of the perceptions of organisational metaphors identified by Gareth Morgan in the 1986 book Images of Organisation. They can be helpful for gaining insight into how organisations and organisational change is perceived by your stakeholders and leaders, but it can also help to challenge your own perceptions. Helpfully, by understanding the metaphor that most closely matches your organisation, you can adopt your change strategy to accommodate it. But keep in mind, these metaphors are perceptions and not necessarily realities. The first metaphor is one you may find familiar. The machine metaphor views organisations like a series of connected components working machine-like to produce predictable outcomes. It sees people within the organisation as cogs that are necessary to keep the machine moving. It's a dehumanising perception, but its emphasis on roles, responsibilities, controls and governance may make it familiar and even comforting to those involved in project management. Your strategy for delivering change in this type of environment is to follow the methodologies, have a good business case, a great cost-benefit ratio, and have work that is prioritised by scientific methods. The political metaphor sees power and interests as primary drivers for change. The system is based around influence and building of coalitions. Debates and negotiations will drive the decisions for change, and whilst the machine's scientific methods may be used to support or dismiss a proposal, it's really only being used to conveniently promote one person or group's interests. If you are delivering change in this environment, you need to have the people with power on your side. If they are sponsoring you, even better. It's a system designed to produce winners and losers, so on occasion you may find yourself on the losing side. Don't take it to heart when it happens. The organism metaphor sees the organisation as a living and adaptive system striving to survive within whatever environment it inhabits. The organisation is seen as a set of interrelated systems operating like the internal functions of a living being. The metaphor places strong emphasis on the importance of human relations within the organisation. The key to successfully delivering change here is the use of collaboration. With its holistic perception, the supporters of this metaphor will see the change to one system as impacting on all others. So you'll have to do a lot of legwork to maintain your engagement with your stakeholders. There are some overlaps with the organism metaphor and the perception of the organisation as a brain. In this case, the organisation is concerned with the capture of intelligence and understanding. It sees its employees as sensory inputs and management as information processing functions. An emphasis is placed on helping the organisation to learn better. In this case, demonstrating that your project is supporting the knowledge base is a great way to proceed. Demonstrate that you are learning from history and that you are adding to the knowledge of the organisation to enable future success. The metaphor of organisation as culture sees great focus on the importance of shared beliefs and rituals. The perception extends to seeing the organisation as its own society with its own norms and values. That's great when they're values that you share, but if not, you may get the feeling that you don't quite fit in. The best advice I can give to anyone finding themselves in this environment is to try to blend in. It's not the type of place that will likely accept different views. In terms of delivering change, just make extra sure that your change is aligned to the culture and the vision. Adopting a perception that sees organisation as flux and transformation means you welcome uncertainty and chaos. The belief is that change emerges, and that whilst managers can influence and enable the change, they can never truly control it. As you can imagine, this is a disturbing view for most senior managers. Telling investors that order will emerge in its own time is not likely to inspire great confidence. If you're working in this environment, make small changes at a time. Try to steer clear of any larger projects. If you do have a large project, break it up into small, tiny chunks. Organisation as a psychic prison is the perception that organisations trap people within their mindsets. We get locked in by groupthink, and the organisation struggles as the policies that made them successful in the first place become outdated over time. I'd suggest that the opportunities for change are limited in an environment like this, so you may want to look elsewhere. And finally, organisations as instruments of domination is based on the perception that organisations exist to exploit and control, seeing its resources as objects of subjugation. It's probably the most negative view out of the bunch, as it has no real redeeming values. My advice to anybody working in a place like this is that the only change you should be interested in is changing jobs. But before you do so, just double check to make sure that your perception is truly matched to the reality. I've had some interesting assignments over the years, but the majority of my work has taken place in the environments that, from my perception, blend the machine and the political metaphors. But I know that I've had colleagues in the same place that perceive things entirely differently, as either entirely politically or entirely machine. Because I understood that we perceive the organisation differently and how, I was better able to create effective strategies for engaging with these stakeholders and colleagues. This isn't about being manipulative, it's about being aware. If you knew the guy sitting at the next desk to you saw the organisation as a psychic prison, you probably wouldn't want to waste a lot of time trying to persuade them about the virtue of the machine's governance structures, because you'd know he'd see it in a completely negative way. Okay, what do you think? Are you a cog in the machine? Are you living in a political world? Are you trapped in a psychic prison? Put your responses in the comments, please. So, that's the end of the first part of the In Theory series. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if so, please remember to hit the like button and to subscribe to the channel. Doing so lets YouTube know there's something of value here, and it makes promotion of the channel a little bit easier. And if you hated it, well, thank you for persevering, but you're welcome to your perceptions. As mentioned earlier, if you need to contact me, my details are in the description. I'm Stuart Taylor. Thank you for watching the Influential PMO. I will see you again next week.